anything.
Back for the third period in Hennessy's This is JackSixty presented by Cinema Carousel. Thank you to Rick Hickman back in the Cumulus Studios. We are back on the air after a week off due to some Mardi Gras celebrations here at Hennessy's. I heard they were pretty wild, as it usually is on Fat Tuesday. Then 2 weeks ago, you and I, Antonio, were in the Cumulus Studios with Rick, so we had a good time there. Ryan Longberg called in as he was the offensive player of the week over the week of, I believe it was the second week of February, yes, that he really racked up the points at 6 in 3 games, and that's a good jumping off point for our USHL discussion for the evening, I think, as I was a little riled up last night when I saw the USHL League Awards came out, and I'm good friends with Brian Werger, the Director of Communications for the league, who makes the picks for the most part. He gets some input from Skip Prince, the league commissioner, as well. But as far as the goaltender of the week goes, Phoenix Copley of Des Moines got the award. Decent numbers, 920 save percentage, 2.0 goals against, and a couple of wins for the Bucks. Okay, that's fair enough. Then you look at John Keeney's numbers for the Lumberjacks. Friday night, only allowed 1 goal to one of the top scoring teams in the USHL as the Jacks won at 3-1. And then what I thought was one of his top 3 performances of the year on Sunday in Green Bay, stopping 42 of 44. And unfortunately, the Gamblers got the better of the Jacks in the shootout, but still, he was the reason Muskegon was even in that game in the first couple of periods, as they had a bit of a hard time getting going in that one before their third period rally. So, kind of went off on Twitter on my personal account, as well as posted something on the Lumberjacks Facebook. Got a great response, actually, so thanks to everyone who liked the status, saying that if you thought that John Keeney should have been goalie of the week, then like this status or retweet it on Twitter, and big response. So I think Lumberjacks fans came to John Keeney's aid there, and I'm sure he really appreciates that. What say you, Antonio? I know that the Jacks didn't win both games, but to me, the numbers were clearly in favor of Keeney.
Yeah, definitely on Friday, he definitely had a great game, but then you look on Sunday's game, I saw the box score for that, and I was getting updates on my phone here and there, and I couldn't believe the shot totals, and everything I heard, I was texting one of my buddies, and he just said he was on fire to stop everything in front of him, so like you say, for the shot totals that he had, the numbers that he put up, you can't argue with that. Still, he's been there all year, so he's been consistent enough, that's for sure, every game, game in, game out, but you see his game on Sunday there in Green Bay, without his performance there, they're not in that shootout, they don't claim that point probably, so, great weekend for him, but I guess, hey, it's more motivation for next week, so.
Well, I've been a big advocate of John Keeney since he came aboard. He played his first game here in the home opener, had a rough go in a 4-0 loss to Dubuque, and then also a tough start the next night against Chicago. Maybe got him off on the wrong foot with some fans here in Muskegon, but I really do think that he has been the reason for a lot of the stability that the Jacks have. They won 6 out of 7 in November. He made a 44 save performance against the Phantoms in a shutout in early December, and just hasn't been getting the goal support until recently. So I guess it touched a nerve for me, and also the Jacks only had 1 player of the week in 23 weeks, so I started to feel like maybe the league was a bit biased against us. But then I heard from Brian Werger today, and he informed me that the week also entailed the game in Ann Arbor last Monday. So that was the one that Keeney gave up 6. I didn't think it was any fault of his own, but 6 goals, yeah, it's probably not going to qualify you for goaltender of the week. But the awards came out the next day, so I thought that didn't count. So I think there was some confusion there. I felt like at least he should have gotten co-goaltender of the week in that situation. But I guess it'll be Keeney against Copley perhaps on Friday, I suppose, who can really show who's got the edge right now out in Des Moines. And I'm glad that Carter Fogut brought up as well that we'll be seeing Nick Seeler. He had 4 points in a couple of games. He won Defensive Player of the Week in the USHL. Nick Seeler, who did well here in Muskegon, but kind of a numbers game for the Lumberjacks. They also picked up a pretty good prospect already committed to the University of Minnesota. We hope to see him next year, Johnny Brodzinski out of Minnesota high school hockey. Prolific scoring defenseman, led his team in scoring this year, so that says a lot from the blue line. But so this weekend, a huge one for the Jacks, as we talked about, but something I want to discuss right now. We saw a couple of top teams this weekend that the Lumberjacks handled really well, actually,